And if you would be so kind as to write on top, you can write it on top of your thing here. Let's see if I can get this smaller. Put it on the water side. I'm going to have you do this. Actually, right on top, parallelogram. And we are looking at the area of a parallelogram. And I asked you to bring some scissors and some glue, right? Hopefully you did that. If not, you can just file and say, this is not that extensive can where you might not be able to figure it out without borrowing something from somebody here. It's not huge. I've given you the same parallelograms that I have on my big board in the sky. And hopefully, when you find the area of a parallelogram, most people make one simple mistake here. What it is, I don't know. Please cut out your parallelogram. If you'd be so kind as to. First of all, while you're cutting that out, think about this. Area is how many squares. And if we're looking at these squares in here, one of the problems you come up with is, if you're trying to count the area of this, children, if I asked you to give me the area of this, what would you tell me? You want to count all those blocks up for me? Yeah, I'll give you a chance to cut that out first here. If you look at the parallelogram that you're holding in your hand, cut out the parallelogram. Cut out the actual parallelogram itself. Don't give me the rectangle. Cut out the actual parallelogram. What if I could? Well, maybe I can here. How about this? I'll color over top like this. I want you just to have this parallelogram here. Everybody got it cut out here? So the gist of this is this. If I asked you to give me the area of this, all right, you could sit there and count all of these squares, right, Samuel? I guess I missed this there. But the question is, what do you do about all these little half squares, quarter squares, little triangle things there? How do I find the area of this thing? You know, you got all these pieces that aren't full squares. What do you do with them? You try to add them together, combine them, or do whatever? No, you don't. Well, let's say, actually, what is the dimension of this? I can write down this dimension. How wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is actually 15 units wide, right? So if you get, we don't know how high it is from here. Okay? We don't know how high that is because that's a diagonal line. We don't have a measurement on that. But what we do know is that from here to here is how long? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that right? So from here to here is 10. Danny is going to tell me what? How do I find the area of this shape?
You cut the sides and do two triangles on each side of it.
Well, and you don't even have to do two triangles. And I'll let you pick wherever you want to cut this. Wait, Ron, you're not gluing this on, are you? Oh, no, I don't want it on there yet. I'll get to that point there. Please don't glue it on your paper until you're told to. What Danny said was this. Danny said you could cut these two triangles off and then do it here, but I'm going to tell you, you only need to make one cut to cut it into a shape you can find. And all you have to do is cut it. Pick any line here that goes all the way from the top to the bottom. like I'm gonna cut this one that's 2 over, watch, don't do yours yet, I'm gonna do mine. If I cut this shape that's 2 over, right on the line, don't cut it willy-nilly in the middle of something. If I take that piece and slide it over and put it with the other triangle, or the other side that's slanted, what shape does that make? A rectangle. And you know how to find the areas of rectangles. Areas of rectangles are, somebody? A rectangle was, the area of a rectangle is?
Length times width.
Okay, length times width. So if I do the length times the width of this, I'm going to get the area of this shape as well. The one problem is, wait, don't look away just yet. The problem is this. This shape, this distance from right here, because the book will give you this, let's say the book tells you that this is 12 units. You cannot use that 12 in finding the area of it because that is not the width of this shape. What is the width of this shape? It's the line that we had that went straight up and down. So in math, write this down because you'll cut it and then you'll glue it on there. The area of a parallelogram is called base times height. Just like in a triangle, when you find the area of a parallelogram, okay, you have to find 2 perpendicular lines. Notice how all of these lines are perpendicular, so you can pick any one of these. This line and this line are the perpendicular lines. So the area of this thing, if you count it out to squares, the area equals 15 times 10, which is 150. Now, you here, Ronnie Johnson, is where you can glue your thing together here. You can pick, wow, this is Leslie's got her hands full of lots of empty milk cartons.
Yeah, Mrs. Fisher told me that your absentees are right there. I don't have pop messenger today.
Oh, for what? Is there a reason why you don't think you have?
I don't know, Ryan's going to look into it a little later.
Has it been a common thing, or has that just happened today?
None of my apps are.
Oh, that does sound like it. So I cut mine 2 over and put it together here. You feel free to pick any vertical line and cut it on there and then slide it over and put it together. You're going to get that rectangle, and that's what I want you to glue on your paper. See mine, I could have just done this. Sorry. The only problem is my thing, I'm going to slide this over. Oh, look at all the mess. And I put my thing together, that gives me the rectangle right there. So the problem is my thing didn't copy right. So you go ahead and cut yours, and then I want you to glue that on there, hopefully as a reminder of what needs to be done there. How can I get this to go away? I don't think I can erase part of a shape, can I? That's a shame. And then that, Ronnie Johnson, slide over, and I want you actually to make a rectangle out of it when you glue it on your paper. And make sure you have the formula in big letters there. So pick any place, any one of these straight up and down lines. And make a rectangle out of it. And put them together. Look at Rivers, that is so nice. That hopefully will be a reminder to you, because too often I see this. Wait, do I have a right? Oh, hold on a second. I don't. Too often, just quickly look up here, 7th graders. I'm asked to find the area of this shape, in which the area is what on this shape, Sam? What is the area of this parallelogram? It is not. And again, I did this with the triangle just right there. Why isn't it 200? Because it has to be, the area is the base times the height, and those 2 shapes have to be perpendicular. You can't find the area of that shape unless the book gives you, they have to give you a right angle line for that. This, you cannot use that just like on your little rectangle thing here. Okay, this is not the height of the shape. This has to be the height. So it has to be a perpendicular line, which let's say this is 8. And then Say I'm gonna say that it's 20 times 8, which is 160. Right? That's what you need to get into your noggins, children. Write that down there. Make sure you do base times the height, not one of these sides. Now you do need this for the perimeter. If you were asked for the perimeter of this shape, yes, you use the 10, the 20, the 10, and the 20. But if you're doing the area, there has to be two lines that form a right angle there. Sometimes kids ooh and ah after I say that. Ah. All right. That is, ladies and gentlemen, your whole area of parallelogram. Let me find something that's very exciting for you to do. Do I have one that's very exciting? That's another 60. Come on, people. Give me something 60 wise. I don't want to. All right, you are going to do problems 1 through, let's do 1 through 10. Problems 1 through 10, if you'd be so kind.